Hey guys, welcome back to another video. If you're wondering why you're watching Star Wars Battlefront 2 in a Battlefield 6 related video, it came down to me playing Battlefield 2042 or playing Star Wars Battlefront, and my community basically unanimously decided they do not want to watch Battlefield 2042 because Star Wars Battlefront 2 is just a better game and it's very popular right now. Anyway, if you enjoy Battlefield and Star Wars Battlefront and you just want to enjoy some good old gameplay in those two games and you want to keep in touch with Battlefield 6, then please consider leaving a like, comment and a subscription for future content. Should naval warfare return in Battlefield 6? It is a question that I always get on every video I make about Battlefield 6. There's always one or two of you who are asking, I want to have naval warfare. I want air, I want land, and I want sea. This is the real Battlefield. This is what Battlefield 4 gave us. And I actually do agree with those people. Ever since naval warfare left us in Battlefield 4, there is definitely a hole left in like the feeling of Battlefield that something is missing. I mean, imagine if in Star Wars Battlefront 2, that I'm playing right now, we just removed, I don't know, the Infiltrator class or the Enforcer. Something is missing, guys. The game doesn't feel complete. And I really feel this way with Battlefield as well. And I know it's not a big portion of the player base who really enjoys playing naval vehicles, but it's still a big enough player base, in my humble opinion, that they should be given, after waiting 4 years for a new Battlefield game, a full experience, including naval warfare. So this is what we're going to be talking about in this video. And as quite a coincidence, as I was doing some research about naval warfare in Battlefield, an article came out asking about submarines in Battlefield. So let's check it out, and then I have a very special surprise for you later on in the video. The next Battlefield game can employ submarines to take combat to another level, especially on maps that feature water. The franchise has always been recognized as the first-person shooter that handles large-scale gunplay, thanks to colossal-sized maps that sport warfare on multiple planes with tanks, artillery vehicles, fighter jets, and more. Along those lines, the added expense of a submarine comes across as fairly doable for Battlefield 6, considering that the baseline for it is always there in the form of the sizable maps that earlier titles have featured. And that is very interesting they're saying this, because Submarine was actually dug up to be coming up in Battlefield 4 way before Battlefield 4 Alpha came out, maybe a year. This screenshot you're seeing on the screen right now is the Battlefield 4 Commander, and as you can see there in the vehicle assets, there was a submarine available there. I have no clue why the submarine never came. I couldn't find any additional info, and I'm sorry for the quality of the image. It's very hard to find an image from before Battlefield 4 times of like super high quality commander assets. But the submarine was supposed to be like deployed in Lankingdam and some other maps, I guess. And I wish there was a submarine Battlefield 4 as well. I think it would definitely complete the naval warfare circle. We would have the attack boat, of course. We would have a bunch of rib boats, and then we would have the U-boat, or the U-boat, as we say in German, to really complete that great circle, in my humble opinion. The addition of submarines in Battlefield 6 may not be as far off a possibility as one may think. Considering that it's been 4 years since any Battlefield game came out, it is safe to say that the pre-launch hype for the game is significant. The interesting part about submarines is that these vehicles could offer a tactical edge on the battlefield in-game, allowing players to not only survey enemy bases but also launch missiles from within the waters to take out heaps of opposing forces at once. Of course, players would also have to contend with enemy submarines in the process, making for a fairly promising venture with the future updates and features. Combine it with Battlefield's destruction mechanic, and there's a lot to be excited about here. You know what? I completely agree with this article. The first section of the article, where they said that it's been 4 years since a new Battlefield game, submarines are really not something that is a big ask in my humble opinion. I mean, when we look at Battlefield 1, which had only 2 years between, it was like 2 years between Battlefield 4 and Battlefield 1, and we got massive behemoths flying in the sky, huge dreadnought ships in the sea, and giant Panzerzugs on the tracks. I think, when you compare the scale of that, I think asking for a measly submarine in a game we have been waiting for 4 years as their big apology game is really not a big ask, guys. Like I said earlier, my only concern is that the concept art that we have seen of some of those maps, there's only one map, that weird water map, where I do see potential for some submarine combat, but other maps, there's not that many. And you know what? There probably shouldn't be that many naval maps. I'm okay, let's say we get 10 vanilla maps. I would say I'm okay with, out of those 10, 3 being, for naval warfare. Like we had in Battlefield 4 vanilla map. I mean, we had Lankingdam, we had Perils of Storm, and we had Hainan Resort. If I'm missing one of other vanilla maps which had naval warfare, then correct me in the comment section. But at the top of my head, I think those are the 3 ones that I can remember. And of course, sorry, I just remembered as I was talking about Siege of Shanghai, when you would collapse the tower, which almost never happened, as we know, because all the fucking server admins banned you if you were trying to collapse the tower. But in those rare instances it did happen, we did get a boat. So there was naval warfare there as well. I will commend Battlefield 4 here. When you think about it, looking way back now, 12, 13 years since that fucking game came out, it really gave us, vehicle-wise, a very complete experience. There was a lot in that game when it comes to vehicles, and I really hope Battlefield 6 is going to have the same amount of vehicles. In fact, why have the same amount of vehicles comparing it to a 2013? Give us more vehicles. Give us more, and I think we're all going to be happy. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, if we were to have submarines and the attack boat and some other naval vehicles returning in Battlefield 6, this would all have to be balanced and tested like for a really, really extended amount of time so that the vehicles don't feel too oppressive, so they enrich the experience rather than ruin it. And as we have seen with Battlefield 6 so far, I mean, DICE currently has no clue what to do with the classes for the base game, just the 4 classes. They're having problems with this, so I really don't think they're right now in a position where they're thinking about adding naval vehicles and testing all of this. So if it does happen, I would say it probably happens as a DLC, something like the Naval Strike DLC, which happened for Battlefield 4. Only in this one we would get for Battlefield 6, would be like with all the naval vehicles included. But then we also have to think about the live service as well. I mean, it's a live service game. We're not going to be getting DLCs, that we know already. So how would they even incorporate these vehicles? Would they be part of a battle pass, or how this would work? I have no clue, guys. But I'm just giving you some issues we would run into if it would be coming as a DLC. So in my humble opinion, I would give a prediction here. If these vehicles are not coming in the vanilla game, I think seeing them post-launch is a very, very smaller chance than having them here on launch. So I would advise, if you are a Battlefield Labs player, let them know once they open up all the talks about the vehicles, what should be in the game or not, let them know that you really want naval warfare in Battlefield 6. Because we have to be honest here, this is literally the only thing you can really do as a consumer to affect Battlefield 6. And like I said, if it comes launch, this is amazing, and I do think then as the time goes forward, we're probably going to see them in the next Battlefield game, after Battlefield 6 and so on, as long as they come here on launch. And let me know down in the comment section, do you want to have naval warfare in Battlefield 6, and explain why. If you made it this far into the video with me and Star Wars Battlefront 2, I really appreciate you. As I mentioned earlier, playing all the Battlefield games that are in Battlefield 2042 is becoming quite hard these days. Specifically, Battlefield 3 and BF4 are just servers full with fake players. Any server I join is just empty and it says 64 out of 64. So it has been really hindering me lately to deliver content at a near regular daily basis for you guys. And I think Star Wars Battlefront 2 has really filled in this gap for me. So like I said, if you made it this far, I really appreciate you. It's a beautiful game. It's made by EA and DICE on Frostbite 3. It has that old DICE polish to it. It has a working mouse input. It's a very immersive game. It's quite balanced when it comes to infantry combat as well, in my humble opinion. And it's just a blast to play. If you haven't played Star Wars Battlefront 2 already, and no, this isn't a sponsored video, I just am telling you how good of a game this is. Grab it on sale and hop in. Basically, any mode is instant queue almost instantly. The servers are full, and hop in and play. With that being said, if you enjoy watching this video, leave a like and a comment. If you're new here and you like me and Star Wars Battlefront and of course Battlefield, then leave a subscription as well. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.